Janelle, I've been looking for you everywhere. What are you doing?
Oh, sorry, I'm just doing some research.
Oh, what, on Eddie and Michael and Paul and the rest of the guys and that?
No, just on Richard.
Richard? You've been doing that since Wednesday.
I like to be prepared, Quincy.
Yeah, yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, yeah. She wanna own me, try to control me. Ooh, feels like you're cramping up my style. Already told her, girl. Ooh, if you don't learn to cool it down, cool it down, cool it down. Oh yeah. Oh. Don't stress yourself before you blow your mind. We're so good together, happy that you're mine. So if you want me, don't try to dress me. Ooh, see, I like rocking my own style. Ooh, you gotta trust me, girl. Secure here in the knowledge that you're mine. Yes, you're mine, you're mine. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. You're gonna lose your mind. Yeah, yeah. Girl, you know I love you. I think the world of you. Girl, you know I love you. I think the world of you. Girl, let yourself tripping on. Stop tripping all the time. Happy that you're mine. Happy that you're mine. Don't stress yourself before you lose your mind. Gonna lose your mind. So good together. Happy that you're mine. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Time Alone and the extra timers, ladies and gents. More from those guys later on. But in the meantime, let's deal with that interview. Probably the biggest interview since Moses spoke to that burning bush. The interview which revealed the ugliness of elitism, colorism, and anything with an ism in it. Because what kind of gangster baby shower reveals the skin tone instead of the sex of a child? All this to determine if little Archie gets the titles or not. Really? Because here's the bigger question. Who said it? Now, I know they both said it wasn't Philip. But if I was to put my money on anyone in the royal family, it would have been him. Because that's the kind of stuff he would say. Because did you know, in 1986, my man told a British student that if he stays in China any longer, he would go home with his slinty eyes. And what about Princess Michael of Kent, who racial slurs roll off the tongue, and actually wore a Blackamoor brooch when she met Meghan Markle for the first time? Now, When Meghan Markle was actually talking about the firm, I thought she was talking about this lot, not this lot. Now, we can agree to disagree. Meghan was treated disrespectfully, and she is dual heritage. Imagine if Harry was to actually get one of the sisters and bring home from the Commonwealth. The firm would have blown their minds. Now, Oprah, she's the queen of TV interviews. Her style makes you confess to things you ain't done. And everybody knows when a black woman asks you a question, you proceed with caution. But at least he did better than his uncle. Piers Morgan took a walk this week after he was told some home truths by his co-presenter, Alex Beresford. Now, I was proud how he articulated himself, because if that was me, I would have clarted up the place, and I would have given a few chosen words from the Bayesian persuasion. Alex put light-skinned people on the map. Big up the lighties. Now, I don't know anyone who was surprised that the royal family was racist. I wasn't. Not even his co-star was. Now, I'm not going to lie. A part of me is going to miss old turkey neck. He was comedy gold. And as they say, you are the company you keep. The only person benefiting from all this is this man. Now, has anybody seen Coming to America 2? Now, I don't want to spoil the story for anybody, but I tell you what I am looking forward to watching. Judas and the Black Messiah. A story about a man assassinated by the FBI. Just another example of influential leaders being taken down by the man. Speaking of being taken out, the jury for George Floyd's case was handpicked this week. Now, me personally, I do not know why that is going to court. That's an open and shut case. The only reasons why those jurors should be meeting up is to count the number of years that murdering officer should be getting. Now, on a lighter note, congrats to Channel 4 news anchor, Mr. Jon Snow, on the birth of his new child. When I tell you I was shocked, go on, Mr. Snow, with your Lionel Richie self. You imagine in a couple of years, you and the little one would both be wearing nappies. Now that is my roundup for the week. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome along to Extra Time Fridays, the Friday night to make your lockdowns that bit more easier. It's yours truly, Cockney Prince Quincy, in the building. I'm alongside my wonderful co-host, Janelle. How you doing, Janelle?
I'm very well. How are you doing?
How's your week been?
Do you know what? There's a lot that's happened this week, right? I feel like it's been a lot.
Yeah. But we're going to try and squeeze it in under an hour, under record-breaking time, but we're going to give all the information.
Let's do that. Save my hearing this time.
You know what I mean? So what we've got coming up today?
Well, do you know what? I'm looking forward to talking about Harry and Meghan with Eddie Nesta. In a little while. That's
going to be an interesting conversation.
Very.
I'm going to be making chocolates with Mr. Paul Gregory and Michael Boateng from Love Island.
Lovely. And then we have actor and comedian Richard Blackwood joining us.
Yes, we have. Yes,
Haven't we?
I'm not hating. No, I'm looking forward to talking to Richard, man.
He'll be telling us all about his new project and latest film, actually.
Oh, yeah. It is. But before we actually deal with that, let's introduce our first guest. Ladies and gentlemen, this man, I would say, is, and I openly say this, is one of my mentors, one of the guys I really admire and look up to. And he is successful in comedy, he's successful in raising money for funds for all kind of charities, and he's the voice of London, and he looks like Papa Smurf as well, ladies and gentlemen. So without any further ado, right now, Mr. Eddie Nesta. Eddie, what's going on? You all right?
At Papa Smurf. Is that where you're going to start, Chris?
Come on now. Look at you. I mean, you look good for it. You look good for it.
This is the face of wisdom. You wouldn't recognise it, sir.
Yeah, no, because I'm 30. So, yeah, that's it. So, look, Ed, I want to start. Thank you for taking your time out in your busy schedule for coming down. I mentioned at the top of the show, like, you are known for quite a few things. The acting, Real McCoy, we've done shows together. And obviously, you are the voice of London on BBC London Drive Time. Which most people listen to, I listen to. Out of all those disciplines, which one would you say you take more pleasure in doing?
The one you always want to do, the thing that you're not doing anymore, and that's acting. I'd love to be acting still, and I'm jealous of Robbie G because when I go into an audition now, they tell me they listen to my radio show. We spend about, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes talking about an issue I've covered, and then I don't get the job. That's the way it is, isn't it?
All right, last question.
Yeah, well, listen, you present the Drive Time show, as Quincy mentioned, but I'm intrigued to know, which do you find more challenging, acting or presenting?
It's hard. I'll be honest with you. Last night I came home and I sat in a room with the light off because it's so weird, because in the week you would have thought, I talked to Quincy on Tuesday or Wednesday, and this Harry and Meghan, undoubtedly the biggest story. It has legs. It's a story that keeps on giving. But there's a story of a young woman called Sarah, which has ignited London in a way that I've never seen, in talking about the safety of women. And when you have story after story of women coming and telling you how it is and what they have to do, where they have to walk and all, so it is challenging, because you can't take it. I'm not a trained therapist or counsellor, and even they have somebody who they tell the story to every month or whatever. So it's quite challenging to be able to take calls of people's trauma, if I'm honest with you.
As you mentioned, this week, and I think this whole year has been like story after story after story, but obviously the Meghan and the Harry has been massive, and it's been a ripple effect. How did you view it, and how important is it for you to keep neutral when it's a story like that and not putting your own personal views on it?
I think we got to a page, you know, where actually staying silent means you're complicit in a way. And if you're doing, if you're reading the news, then you have to read the news. But if you're doing a show where you're taking calls and you're having conversations, and if it is about an experience, and the one conversation you can't have in this country is about race. And you can see it now, because Gina is doing awful things with Sharon. I don't know if you've seen Sharon Osbourne and how she's protected, or said, you know, Piers is my friend and the like. And then Alex Beresford, the guy. Now, in a food chain, Piers is right at the top and Alex is right at the bottom. Right at the bottom. So for him to do what he did, you must never underestimate the kind of, I don't know, the resolve it takes to speak truth to power while you're in the belly of the beast. So that man has my admiration. But can I tell you that the part of it that I've taken from it is not the race? Because I know we can't have a conversation about race, because we know there's racism, but nobody's a racist. And the minute you try to have it, it's the way you say, I can't believe you said that to me, Eddie. And then you get the tears, and you never get to talk about it. So I don't bother anymore. For me personally, the idea that a guy, and remember, we're in the week of Caroline Flack, right? So this is a woman who took her own life, right, because of the tabloids.
That's right, yeah.
And that you can sit in a studio as a man and say, this woman who said that she was near suicide is lying. So what does that mean? We're coming out of a pandemic, and the mental health crisis is real, you know, the anxiety that you feel. Where can you go? Who can you do? Quincy, I know that isn't you, but me personally, you can't even have a little, I mean, I'm married, but I could have a little rock, a little dance certain times. Man can't even dance when we come out of this thing now. You're going to need gloves to have a little rub down now. You can't do mask to dance. You can't do. So there's an anxiety about what the world is going to be like when we come out of this. So you're telling me at that time, when you know a mental health crisis is going to be real, you got this muppet, Piers Morgan, telling a woman that her feelings are not real on the basis of she got in a cab and didn't check him again because she met a prince. If you meet a prince like Harry, you ain't going back to check Piers. Piers is married. He ain't got nothing in this. So, this is all about a man who has been hurt. His heart has been broken.
But Eddie, would you say he's been hurt or he's in his feelings? Because I would say he's in his feelings, really.
You know what I would say? It's straight friend zone. You got straight friend zone. And no man likes to be in the friend zone, you know what I mean? Especially when you really, really check for someone.
He never got invited to the wedding. Listen, Quincy, I told Mrs. Nesta a long time, if anybody invite me to their wedding for just the evening piece, I'm not going. I'm sorry, I want to be there for the whole thing. I want to go in the morning time, stay in the hotel the night before. If they want a present from me, You got to invite me to the whole thing. If you invite me to the night, I'm not bothering. What will you get? By the time you get there, everybody's half drunk anyway. They never invited him, and he couldn't take it. And this is a man who was allowed by the company that he works for to go on there and to trash this human being on the basis of nothing.
But do you think that ITV bosses were slow to react? Because it's not the first time he's behaved in a really quite unacceptable way. It's not the first time that he's bullied somebody or come across as a bully. And I think there were over...
Who decides if it's unacceptable then?
But do you know what Ed, what I will pick up on that, I think what was shown this week, what Piers Morgan did, yeah, he showed a ignorance and he showed a privilege, and not just from a white perspective, but from a male perspective.
Highest ratings they've ever had, Quincy.
That's right.
He went on there to turn morning TV into something. He only did Monday to Wednesday. Every time I put on my phone, there was a look at the way he spoke. I can't believe that he did that. And then at another time, he was speaking for the rights of people. When Alex spoke to him, he spoke in a way that I haven't learned how to speak yet. He spoke to him calmly. There could be no accusation of aggression of anything. I'm telling him about his BBC.
Do you know, as he says, while he's off air, right? But you know what really got me, and I really respected Alex for that conversation, because the last black man I heard talk like that so eloquently was Lammy, right? But you know, I felt the undertones, what Alex really wanted to say.
I mean, there's so much that we could talk about with this, and because I know Charlene felt a bit of pressure on, Charlene White that is, felt a bit of pressure on Loose Women, and she had to keep her calm, and as the only woman of colour on the panel when all of this was kicking off, she really had to keep calm. But I do want to come back to the point about race. I know that you said, you know, that we know what it is, and we're exhausted about talking about it, but there is a really key point of the conversation, Eddie, that I want to get your thoughts on, that conversation that Harry and Meghan had with Oprah, and that was about how dark, or concerns about how dark Archie's skin colour might be once he was born. What are your thoughts on that, Eddie?
Well, again, I don't, you know, my thoughts don't necessarily tally with the majority of what I've read. So let me tell you something, right? If you look at anybody's WhatsApp groups and the pages they're in, and if I have a conversation with my brother, with my uncle, with my auntie, it's somebody in the family, so somebody he's related to. So he's had a conversation with them in private about this. Then he's gone and told his wife has then told it to Oprah as a weapon to be used against them. Nobody's surprised to hear the future king of England can't marry anybody who's had sex before, can't marry anybody who's a Roman Catholic. It doesn't surprise me. What does surprise me is that people don't think that Harry and Meghan are now to William and the royal family exactly the way that Meghan's father is to her. It means they can never have a conversation again. They can't have a conversation where in private they can say something about it, because, you know, you have to be able to have a personal conversation. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm glad we know it's salacious. It's like The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Reckless. It's a proper soap opera. But when I talk to my brother, I don't expect my brother to go anywhere and tell anybody what I've said to him, or my uncle, or my auntie. And I think that is going to be, although I like the fact that I know it, it's going to be a problem for them going forward.
So what I would say to you as well, because at the end of the day, I agree with you with Meghan's dad, you know what I mean, and the conversations which Harry has clearly had.
So what's the difference then?
You know what I mean?
Tell me what's the difference, Quince?
The difference with Meghan and her dad, well, her dad basically betrayed her. Her dad, because he was trying to catch up in a relationship with her, and for whatever reason, she didn't want to have that relationship at that time, and he was coaxed into something, and I don't care how naive he could have been.
He revealed their personal business.
That's right, he checked the business, so he deserves everything he gets. I agree with you, he deserves everything he gets. But going back to that, and that involves with the press, my question to you is, you work for a popular radio station. You could say you are part of that mantra, that industry. So there are stories and there are times where you're going to deal with people who you possibly work with. You worked with one of them, yeah? So would you say the British press is racist?
Yeah,
All right, and next question.
You want me to give you a long... You want me to give it... Charlene called out the editors. So at the end of that thing, the head of the Editors Association claimed that the British press was not racist, okay? So Charlene pulled out of their thing. He then had to retract it, and now he's had to resign. We've seen it in football with Raheem Sterling and Foden. He's a white guy, bought a house for his mum. Isn't it wonderful? Look how generous he is. Sterling did it, and they said, look at the flash so-and-so, look what he's done. It's there for you to see, absolutely, yes. That's the answer, yes.
So talking of that then, on the subject of the press being racist, of course the royal family are in a really awkward situation. Some might agree with your point of view in that, you know, some private conversations have been revealed, placing them in a really awkward situation. But William was at a school in East London yesterday, in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, my man, I had to throw away a couple of... Anyway, he's moving.
who was the queen next to him?
That was she was the head teacher.
The Wakanda.
Yeah, she was the head teacher.
The lady in the African outfit.
I reckon.
Have you noticed how many? So, have you noticed how many black people in the royal family have been around? When Charles was somewhere, there were two black men, big old black man, and then when he was there, I was like, whoa, somebody in PR is trying to rock this thing.
Yeah, and you know the joke thing about it, yeah, because they know about these people coming for the longest while. So that head teacher must be sitting there thinking, of all the weeks you come to my school, you come this week, I'm going to deliberately find a cloth.
She chose her outfit very well.
She chose it.
Yeah,
she chose it.
She did well. And the PR people said, I don't want you to go anywhere with any red skin, brown skin, yellow skin. They got to be dark. So we got to show that we ain't got no prejudice.
But, you know, on a serious point, he did actually say that his family are not racist. So with that in mind, Eddie, what do you think the next move for the Royals should be?
First of all, it's very unusual for them to answer questions like that. So that in a way, for me, that's the real story. They get questions that shouted at them all the time. Surely the real story would have been if he had said, yeah, we are racist.
Yeah,
right?
I know, yeah.
So clearly he's not going to say that.
You're going to say, right? You know what, you got a point, yeah. You're going to say, you know, a minute,
yeah. I don't want to say to Harry and Meghan, boy, taking on the royal family is like going up against, I don't know, the Vatican, the mafia. They call themselves a firm. When you go up against the royal family, you're going up against the Queen. When you go up against the Queen, you're going up against your country. That's defined as a form of treachery, treason. I think we're in a moment where it's going to be difficult to see how they move on. They're very rich. They're going to be okay. I'm glad. I think it was an interview done out of anger. And in my life, I've learned never to do anything out of anger. I think it's going to be difficult now.
Yeah, look, I was just going to say this. I said this on my radio show, yeah. Them man there, they're done out here. That's all right. Wait there. I'll show you, mate. There isn't a PR company would touch the Windsors for a mile. Look, just to let you know.
Plug it.
Oh, fantastic. Well done. Well done, Quince. Thank you for your support. Thank you.
Do you know what, actually?
I got it from, anyway.
Go on, where'd you get it from? Because I want one.
Back in the lorry.
He didn't even give me one. But do you know what? You, Curtis Walker, and your lovely boss lady wife, Lisa, and a host of other guests, actually, have done No Joke every Sunday up until recently, where the series came to an end. It's a knockout series. I really miss it. I know we've really been missing it. But you got some good news for us, Eddie, so I hear.
Yeah, we're going to come back on the 21st. The 21st of March, which is next Sunday. And that will be yes, thank you. It will be 2 days before the year. So the 23rd of March, Monday the 23rd of March, it was at 8:30, the Prime Minister came and addressed the nation and said we were going into lockdown. So it will be really interesting to analyse, scrutinise where we've been. 130,000 people have died, yet we've got the largest rollout of the vaccine in the entire world. All of us will have had stories, maybe lost people, whatever. So it will really be a moment to just take stock, you know what I mean?
Yeah, look. Eddie, I appreciate you taking your time out. I know you're a busy man. I've been looking forward to watching the show when it comes back on the 21st. I'll be rocking my T-shirt. I'm actually going to be a gentleman. I'm going to give this to Janelle. Yeah, yeah.
The producer.
It's too big for you, Janelle. That's queasy
It is too big for
No,
me.
it's actually, it's actually our producer's Nick, so he actually
Can I
bought
just
it.
say, Eddie,
I've just
can you
taken
see
it.
this? He's trying to give me his cast-offs, not even to say...
I haven't put it on yet. So it's technically still worth money. I ain't put it on, it ain't got my DNA in it. No, relax, man, relax. Eddie, thank you so much for taking
God
time
bless
out.
you.
I know
God
it's
bless
past your bedtime. So say hello to Smurfette and Grumpy Smurf and the rest of them, right? Take care.
Take it easy.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Lovely to have met you.
Yeah, you
Bye-bye.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Eddie Nestor, ladies and gentlemen, the voice of London. Listen, I love that brother, man. He's a don. He's a don.
Amazing guest, you know, like such a pleasure to have him on. But listen, right now, we are winging it over to the Culture Corner.
I thought I was lost, but ironically found myself in the depths of the darkness. Fumbling around in the dark, I felt the handle of the door and pushed it open, feeling the catharsis. Even with my eyes closed, I can see the sparks flying. I have no limits. Possibilities are endless, you can't tell me I'm finished. I will keep pushing forward until your tortured noise is diminished. Don't mistake this for arrogance. It's called confidence. This is exactly what I envisaged. Show business is tough. First you're a hot shot, then forgotten about in minutes. It's up to you to keep it fresh. Fuck the critics trying to hang shit reviews around your neck. Your character assassination will not affect my checks, cause I know who I am, authentic to the bone. The soul of a punk, I'll flip you the finger whilst eating ice cream cones. I'm a oxymoron, I'm awfully good, I'm a serious joke, I'm suburb, I'm hood. Through my depression I found love for my art, and that's priceless. Like a pinball machine, I'm pinging everywhere using my creative life, something that can never be revoked. You can't steal this from me, you can't touch it, so don't approach. I've learnt the power of saying no. I bask in the freedom of letting shit go. Living like an elephant, I don't forget. I remember all the compliments, the good guys, and I definitely remember the bad. It's sad, people take joy from bringing people down. A reflection of their own insecurities, glorified clowns. I thought I was lost, but ironically found myself in the depths of the darkness. Fumbling around in the dark, I felt the handle of the door and pushed it open, feeling the catharsis. I'm happy. It's been such a long time, and all I want to do is help people through the fog and expose the sunshine. I thought the light was from an oncoming train, but it really was the end of the tunnel. I'm here to give you strength, you don't have to crumble. Not preaching, not claiming to have all the answers, but you gotta believe change comes from these chances. If I can do it, anybody can. Time is of the essence, I said, time is of the essence, it's of the essence, so let's just be present and enjoy your ascent into greatness. Feeling weightless, digging deep, we can all be courageous.
The magnificent Sarah Callahan there, everybody. Now remember, you too can appear in Culture Corner. All you need to do is drop us a message, tell us why. The details should be on the screen right now. And, you know, if we like what we hear from you, then you'll be in the Culture Corner yourself. But right now, over to you, Quincy.
Thank you very much, Janelle. I appreciate it. Look, we are here, and I really appreciate you taking your time out. As you can see in front of us, we have some items we make you put on weight, but put on weight with a smile on your face. And I introduce a round of applause to Mr. Paul Gregory, our chocolatier in the building.
Thank you.
So look, Paul, thank you for taking your time out. Like I said to all my guests, but I really appreciate you coming out and showing us how to make chocolate and tell us a bit about chocolate. But before we do that, you are a chocolatier. Explain to the viewers what exactly a chocolatier is.
A chocolatier is the next stage on from being a pastry chef, really. So you become a pastry chef, or baker, pastry chef, and then a chocolatier.
So you are a next place from a pastry chef.
Yes. Move on, step on.
A step on.
Yeah.
So it's it's pastry chef, chocolatier.
Yes.
And then
Master.
chocolate and the Charlie chocolate. And
Oh, no, yeah. Oh, no, do that.
Right, and the Dicky Bird told me that you actually are an ambassador as well. So what does the role of ambassador play in your industry?
So as an ambassador, you work for one of the big companies and you go and represent that company. But I'm not ambassador for that company anymore. But that was about 5 years ago. So I'd go around the world. Like
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
Which one are you? Oh yeah, there you are.
Yeah.
The only black guy.
The other one.
Like a royal family.
Yeah.
All right, there we have it, Archie. 30 years time. So no, that's wonderful, man. I can see all that kind of stuff.
Thank you very much.
You imagine if that was a bit more pointed, it'd be a different meeting.
Yeah,
But anyway. so anyway, I invited you here, but relax. I know you haven't got all your tools and all that. You're missing the scissors. So you can't find the scissors, can you?
Yeah, there's a scissors.
There's a scissors somewhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll find it. All right,
right, so let's make some chocolate.
Okay.
So are you going to show me how to make this truffles or something?
That's it. So this is gingerbread truffle. This is a new chocolate. Doesn't come out until next week. So maybe real gingerbread.
Okay.
Yeah, see that? Real gingerbread.
No, this is
Yeah. So that's the mix. So what we're going to do, we're going to fill up the shells.
So why are you doing that? Didn't you make some chocolate for a famous Love Island contestant?
Yeah. For Michael Boateng, yeah.
Michael Boateng, yeah?
Yeah, for his girlfriend. For
Do you know
Valentine's
what?
Day.
Funny enough, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like the Black Eamon Andrews, right?
yeah.
For all the younger viewers. Yeah. He's on the old dog and bone right
Really?
now. So give a round of applause.
Really?
Michael Boateng, ladies and gentlemen.
Really.
What's you been doing?
Yo, what's good?
What's going on, blood?
What's going on, Mike? What's going on?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm good, bruv. Good to
Right,
see
so
you.
you look well. You look well. If your clothes on, 'cause I normally see your clothes off for some strange reason.
Yeah, no, I got my clothes on. I got my clothes on today. I'll come good. I'll come prepared.
All right, that's all good. That's all good. So look, Paul is going to show me how to make these chocolates, and obviously you two have both met. You know what I mean? And you made chocolates for his.
For his girlfriend.
You made chocolates for his partner, right?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So look.
But it's his recipe. It was to his taste. He told me what to make, and I made it to his taste.
Yeah. You got there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So the chocolate was like straight from the motherland.
Well, everything I believe was from the motherland.
All right then. You said that at Love Island, but anyway, that's another story. So like, while Paul was going to show me how to make the chocolates, I'm going to introduce you to my wonderful co-host, Janelle Rayburn. So Janelle, Michael, Janelle, do your thing.
Hey, Janelle.
Hey, Michael. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nice for having me.
I'm good, thank you. Listen, while Quincy and Paul are getting on with making the chocolates, you were in season 6 of Love Island. And, Love Island has been a massive success, a really popular show. So tell us what that was like, and tell us what it was really like.
Oh boy, Love Island. It was a mad experience because obviously it's like something that I had never done before, but we've all watched and everybody kind of grew to love and have such like an affinity with the show. So going into it, I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie, but it was one of them weird and wonderful experiences that even though it was tough, if I had the chance to do it all again, I definitely would.
That's interesting, and I'm sure you would, because actually out of it you met your lovely fiance Priscilla. So that's a bonus, right?
God, let's reel it back. Let's
Producer.
I'm not proposed yet.
All right.
I'm not proposed yet.
I'm only going by my cue cards. Play with the cue cards.
Come down the line, but for now she's my girlfriend, and by God's grace we've made it over a year together since the show, so we're still there.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, Michael, you all.
He's stuck in there, ain't coming out.
He's on 2. He's on 2. 2.
He's making a right pig's ear of that over there.
Oh, there you go, Lola.
Listen, I want to eat those. You better do a good job, you know.
Yeah.
All right, listen, Michael. So you have a promotions company called MKB Promotions, right? Tell us a bit about that. What do you do?
Yeah, so when I came out of Love Island, obviously, I was just thinking to myself, what kind of things am I passionate about? What do I want to do? So I started MKB Promotions just as almost like a model to what Tyler Perry and some of the other greats that they've got going on out there. And I just kind of wanted to emulate that and set up something on my own in the UK to kind of create content from like a Black and ethnic minority like point of view. So I started up my own company to kind of just create films, TV shows, we write as well. So that was kind of the reasoning behind why I started MKB Promotions.
That sounds fantastic. And you actually have a film coming out soon, I believe, called The Outcome. Tell us what it's about. Oh, dear. He has to bring the tone down every week, guys. All right, let's talk about your film. While Quincy cleans himself up, let's talk about your film, The Outcome. Tell us what it's about and when can we expect to see it?
Yes, so I've been working hard and the team have been working hard on my film, The Outcome, which hopefully, God willing, is coming out next month. The film essentially is about a relationship and decision-making, and ultimately, it's about perspective. And, you know, everybody's going to watch the film, and depending on your own views, you can ultimately decide what you think happens after you've watched the film. So it's kind of like a weird and wonderful end, and the decision is placed on the viewers. So you guys will be able to decide for yourself what you feel is right or wrong and how you feel you would have gone on, if that kind of makes sense, without spoiling it too much.
That's really exciting. And when did you say that we can see it?
So post-production has been tough. So we haven't actually set a date yet, but most definitely next month you will see the film. So by the end of April, God willing, the film will be out.
Oh, fantastic. So listen, from Love Island to acting, how did you find that?
It's been tough, but I'm not gonna lie, there was a lot of points in Love Island where I had to act. so you guys have already seen a bit of the skills, and now it's just turning it into a different format. So it's all good.
All right, let's see how Quincy and Paul are getting on.
Do you know, I'm not going to lie to you, right? You know, like, you go to the toilet and you ain't got enough toilet roll? Oh, that's how my hand looks right now. Michael, how do you do this thing, man? Because this is hard. How did you, like, put the thing, like...
I tried my best.
I'm not going to lie to you. No, now he shows me the gloves. Look,
Yeah,
you know,
I did show you, but you know.
No, but I ain't gonna lie to you. He's a don. Paul's a don at this kind of things. So like,
we're gonna finish this off now.
So you done the rolling side of it. You done the rolling side of it, right?
Yeah.
He did the whole thing. He did.
All right. So like, while we're doing that, I just want to ask you, Michael. Obviously, Janelle tried to marry you off. Yeah, but it's clearly not that case. That case.
Not ready yet.
Yeah, no.
Not ready yet.
That's good. Keep it that way. Keep your money in your pocket. Like, how has life treated you after Love Island? Like, have you been like? Is it still that case of you still get recognised when you're on the road and get discount from certain shops?
Yeah, no, it's been weird. It's been weird because obviously I came from obscurity, and then obviously now, anytime I go to the shops and stuff, people do recognise me. There was a time where I was in Tesco's, and a man came up to me and he was like, "Yo, I just came out of prison, but I was watching your thing," and I was like, "Wait, it's fine." That kind of recognition, I'm still not used to it, but you know, we're there. We're there.
Yeah, I feel that, man. It's like sometimes when I do the radio and people ask me on the road, they say to you, "Do you know what? Your show's got me through doing the time," and I was like, "Okay, I was playing slow jam, so I don't know what kind of cell you was in, but anyway."
It's mad.
So look, as you can see, I'm doing this thing. You have got one which you have done earlier on, right?
Yes, that's correct. I got it right next to me as well.
All right, so look, what we're going to do, before I put my finishing product to... my man's rolling. Oh, calm down, right? I've
got to go through this, you know?
Okay, then fair enough. So like, you're going to taste yours very soon, right? And I'm going to put mine over. Have you got a finished one? Because this is long.
Yeah, some finished ones here.
I'll tell you, if I was a chocolatier, right, there'd be bare people with food poisoning with me because I would just half do this. I'm not going to lie to you. All right, so look,
show you some.
Yeah, just show us what one we done earlier, and then we're gonna ask Michael to taste his, which we done. Well, you done. I didn't do it. Yeah. Paul done it. Michael, I didn't do it. Yeah, because I don't want that responsibility. Paul done it.
That's cool. That's cool. If Paul done it, I trust him.
All right, good. But on the real, listen, respect to the film and doing that kind of stuff, man. I'm proud of you, man. But you know what I mean, we're proud of you for doing that. So look, let's take it over. This is what we done earlier on.
Yeah. I'll finish this off, yeah.
And you finish that off, and I'm going to walk over. You come with me, walk over.
Yes,
Janelle, you want to take some of this?
Give me the whole lot. Just give that to me.
There you go, sweetheart.
I mean, you kind of put me off a little bit with your shenanigans over there. But do you know what? Nothing can really put me off chocolate.
Right, you gonna have a go?
Yeah,
have a
of
taste, have a
course.
taste. You have a taste, Michael. Have a taste of your one. See what you think.
Can I go? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
All right, cool.
Gingerbread.
Oh,
all right. What does the texture taste like on the tongue? You know, you should ask that question.
when you bite into it, I was expecting it to be hard, but it's soft and it's like creamy. It's heaven.
It's delicious.
It's right, isn't it? You know what?
It's wonderful.
No, you're right. I know the man that made them.
That's not a good sign, Paul, man. From a man making it, you don't want to eat those things. That's not good, that's not a good sign.
It's very, like you said, it's very creamy, a bit velvety. You can taste the little kick of ginger, but it's not too overpowering. I love it.
Good.
Yeah, I taste the ginger, man. It's good. It's good for COVID.
Oh, mine.
All right, Michael, I appreciate you taking your time out, my friend. I wish you all the success in all your businesses, and good luck with the film. You know what I mean? And make sure you make plenty more. All right? Anything you want to say?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And also, let me just say as well, before I let you go, I didn't even like chocolate before I met Paul. And then he introduced me to him. I was like, yo. So yeah, you guys, Paul, keep doing your thing, man.
Thank you, bro.
All right, Michael. Give a round of applause for Michael Boateng, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I've been trying to unloose this thing here for the longest while.
What is it?
To try and clean my hands. It's some kind of thing before I bring in our last guest, yeah? So do you know what? Do you want to, as you were researching him for the longest while, do you want to introduce him while I clean up my hands up? Are you all right to stay, Paul?
Yeah, I'll stay.
Yeah.
You should be familiar with this next guy.
Yeah, it's actually a friend of yours, isn't it?
Really, who's this?
Well, it's actually my great pleasure to introduce the one, the only, Mr. Richard Blackwood, everyone.
Richard!
What, me all right?
What happened? You good?
Now, Richard.
Yes, though.
Where?
First of all, can I say what? I'm Paul. Can I say hello to Paul? 'Cause
Of
me and
course
Paul
you
grew up
can.
together.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, he's saying.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, so everything or nothing, you know it, go.
Yeah, I don't go. It's been a minute still.
For the non-Jamaicans, he
I
was
know.
basically saying, good evening, Paul.
No, listen. You see, it's really funny because you see Paul there and he's all eloquent and he's all nice, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Paul was a little bad man back in the day when we was growing up, like Paul, right? When we were like teenagers, Paul was a couple years older than me. Paul used to have this big dog. What was it, a Rottweiler? Did you used to have? Was it a Rottweiler?
American Pitbull.
Pitbull.
Original.
That's it. He used to have the original. And he used to have this Pitbull. He used to go to Streatham Fair, right? And we would walk with this Pitbull. Nobody in the ends of Streatham used to mess with Paul. Paul is all nice and making chocolates and stuff. Paul back in the day was a serious dude. I'm just letting you know, right? So it's lovely to see Paul.
You know what? I'm quite surprised you said that about the Pitbull, because that's what we had the chocolates out of.
Oh my God.
Paul, I just wanted to say that.
No, it's good to
love,
see you,
love for
Richard.
Paul.
Good
We've
to
gone
see you,
back
brother.
over 30 odd years, man. So it's good to see you, bro.
Yeah.
That's about 40 years, you know, bro.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, shall we give it a
Yeah,
I know.
Don't give it
Yeah.
I've left my cue card, so...
Don't give it away to the viewers,
Yeah.
your age. Preserve that.
That's good, that's true.
It's all in the chocolate, right?
There you go.
Now, listen, Richard, back to you. So just like the guest that we had on earlier, Eddie, you've done it all. You've done acting, you've done stand-up, you've done presenting, and also this.
You can't give it on the silver screen. I'ma get up in it in a minute. It ain't about a beamer or the Benz. I wanna raise the UK flag like loose ends. What you say? What you saying, huh? So what you saying? Say my name, what? Mama used to say, take your time, young man. Mama used to say, don't you rush.
Richard, I'm not going to lie to you. I enjoyed it. I watched that video like it was Coming to America 2. You know what I mean? It was a good sort of good. No, but listen, one of the things I love about you is that obviously you've done your singing, you know what I mean, you're comedian, which I know you from as well, and you've gone into acting. So which one I want to say to you is, out of the disciplines, which one of them gives you most pleasure?
Stand up. I don't get me wrong, I love acting with a passion, and I'm very fortunate to be acting on, you know, Hollyoaks and other stuff like typical that you came to see and stuff. But there is something about stand up, and Quincy, you know, as a comedian, I've never smoked, I don't drink, so I'm not used to any other form of euphoria in terms of a high. But I challenge anybody to beat the high of an audience dropping dead at your laughter at a joke that you wrote, created, and you performed. You remember like performing at Hackney Empire, because of the way the stage was and the way that the sound and everything, the acoustics, when you dropped a big joke in Hackney Empire and the roar would kind of, it could literally push you back. You know what I mean? It was so intense. That feeling, I think, is far superior to none. So I would always say stand up. And also because we make stand up look easy. Yeah. And we know how hard it is. You know, like you can train and become a great actor, but you have to have something else within you to be a great stand-up, I think. And
I would tend to agree with that. I think to be a stand-up, especially what we do, you have to have personality. I think as an actor, you know, I mean, there are great actors and great performances, but you are taking on another persona. And us, as we're on our stage, we're our raw self. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't listened to one bit of this script.
Really?
Cussing me in my ear.
Do you know what? To be able to, I've got the utmost respect for stand-up comedians, because to be able to get up there, improvise, and leave yourself exposed to hopefully laughter, but sometimes it doesn't always go that way with a lot of comedians, is great. But I do want to talk about your acting, because you've just turned your one-man play Typical into a film. And that's about the tragic death of Christopher Alder in police custody. Now, I'm really interested to know, what drew you to that role?
Do you know what? I went into it naively. I was all, they came to my agent and said, we want Richard to audition. And I was familiar with the case, because I'm old enough to remember it. I remember seeing it on the news. But I didn't know how deep the piece was, how intricate it was, how melodic, and then at the same time, how unorthodox it was in terms of its writing. Ryan played no games in terms of the way he wrote this play. So, and I'm glad that I came into it with a naive perspective, because I think, like some of the other people that auditioned, they came in knowing, and it threw them off, because it was a challenging piece to do. It's extremely hard. And I just kind of went in blind, did enough to get the role, and then I was committed. And I'm a Taurus, I'm a bull. So, you know, once we're fixed on something, that's just it. So I was determined to win. And ultimately, as it grew, I think for me, I realized it's, you know, you're telling the story of a man that was killed, basically. So you have to play the truth of that. It's Angela Marr came to see it, and she said, she goes, this is not just a play. She goes, you've had to play somebody that was murdered. This is fresh. It wasn't years and years ago. You know, this is not a Hollywood kind of like, this is real, raw kind of, you know what I'm saying? And you got to take the audience down this road with him. And at the end of it, they've got to believe that that was their friend.
Hang on, but Rick, figure one second. Just for those who don't know, tell us a bit about Christopher and the background of the story.
Well, Christopher, he was an paratrooper, not even a soldier. He was a paratrooper. He was like the high top end of that elite squad. And he was from Hull. And basically one night he went out, got into an altercation at a club. And then literally when he was taken to the hospital, it kind of started there where the police came and harassed him there. And he was trying to explain that, you know, that he was severe, he was concussed. So he wasn't meant to leave. They were telling him basically to get out or they was going to arrest him. They arrested him. And then obviously we know what they did to him in that van. And then the video basically shows him on the floor choking to death for 8 or 9 minutes before he died, and they're just watching and stepping over him, making monkey noises, all kinds of things. And they got off, basically, the police that did it. So, you know, we felt it was very important to, as I say, unfortunately, when you hear about cases like this, whether prior to George Floyd, you always saw a video and then you would hear somebody say, but what did he do to bring this situation on? What happened just before the video? It's always a rationale. And then if you even think about it with George Floyd, they then said, oh, but you did know he was a criminal, like it's a reason to kill someone. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, he had a checkered past.
But
and it's like,
this is the thing for me, is you playing that role, I had the pleasure of watching it, and it was like, I didn't see Richard, I did see Christopher. You know, they were saying, and we know the story to the point of how he was murdered, but obviously there's been other tragedies with the family of now, last year, we finding out that the family buried the wrong body, and the police and the coroners are trying to pass the buck. So with all that knowledge, with all that information, I mean, how more now they're doing the film, is it important for you to basically really take hold of that role and make that family proud?
Well, I tell you something, I've only told a couple of people this. When I performed it, because we was performing at the Edinburgh Fringe for a month, and then we took it to the Soho Theatre where you came to see it. And there was one performance that I did, and this might sound surreal, it might sound crazy, I don't know how it will sound, but it's truth. So at the end, I'm laying on the boxes, and this is just as they show the video, and then it shows me, you know, obviously passed away now on the boxes. And I got so into the performance, like sometimes I would cry just before he would pass, and that would be a natural thing which helped with the scene. So anyway, I was laying there and my eyes are closed, and it felt as if he stood over me and said thank you. It was such a weird, and the weirdest thing, it sounds mad, and there are people that don't believe in God or not religious, whatever, that will go, yeah, that's nonsense. But I'm telling you, I felt his presence, and it was as if he was saying thank you. And then when his sister came to the final performance on the final night, and you know, by this point I had performed it millions of times, so I knew it like the back of my hand. But it was the first time in a long time I was highly nervous, because I realized everybody else, they're just seeing this stranger go through this situation, but there's a cutoff because it's somebody they don't know. This is his sister. So I've got to reenact playing her brother, and then play this very horrible scene of him being beaten up in the van, and then him dying, you know, because we saw the video, but we never saw what occurred to get him to that point. So now I'm reenacting that part. And I remember where she was sitting, and I'm trying not to look over there as I'm playing this scene. And I just thought, oh God, like I'm at crossroads, because I don't want to take away from the scene. I've got to make it as horrible as possible, because the message needs to be driven home. But at the same time, I'm aware that the more horrible it is, the worse it is for her to have to sit through that. And I wouldn't want to relive that. However, afterwards, she hugged me and she said, you wasn't able to research him because there was no videos or anything on him that they had. And she said, you had my brother down to a T. She goes, it was very funny. She goes, the way you played him, she goes, I'm telling you, that was him.
Do you know what, Rich, I just want to come in there, because actually, you know, and we give our condolences out to the Alder family, and also anybody else who has lost a loved one in police custody or after they've come in contact with the police. But I just want to give a stat there, just to really put it into context. Since 1990, there have been 1,700 deaths in the UK, either in police custody or after somebody has come into contact with the police. Now, that is shocking by any standards. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's a horrible statistic, because, you know, we hear those numbers and 9 times out of 10, we don't know any of those people. So we're able to sort of kind of go, oh, that's a shame. But that's 1,700 families, you know, that are affected by this. And, you know, I don't want to bring down the tone, but I lost my mum December of cancer. And so a loss of somebody in your family is hard as it is. But for me, at least I know my mum, even though cancer is a horrible thing, it wasn't somebody that came and took her life, if that makes sense. Or, you know, we've accepted cancer as one of those diseases that does that, but it's a process. And it gives you time to get used to the fact that soon this person's no longer going to be here. But to know that somebody was killed by the people that are supposed to protect us, I don't know if you can ever come to peace with that. Does it make sense? But this is... And that... God.
No, I was just saying, as you talk about, but what you've done and what you're doing is you're not just speaking for Christopher, you're speaking for those 1,700 people as well, who have been taken, all right? And that has led to you now, you other acting roles. You know what I mean? Hollyoaks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I didn't have to audition for that.
Yeah, and that's on the power of doing the play and I'm in the movie. So look, here's the question, right? And I'm changing it up a little bit as we do. Yeah. In every kind of soap I've seen you in, the two major ones I've seen you in, the opening scene, you've basically got hold of the fittest burden. Did you write in the script? Did you write in the script? Did you say, no, that need to change?
Do you know what, right? Let me tell you something that's really great. First of all, I appreciate that, but let me tell you something. Just want to say that I appreciate that you noticed that because that's part of the writer. Yeah. But no, you know what it is? Okay, when I got to EastEnders, I knew that I was playing Tamika's partner. And obviously, me and Tamika, you know, we know Tamika for Wade. We've known go back 20 plus years. So that was it was a lovely union because and Tamika really schooled me because, you know, Tamika's had that real acting experience. So she would really hone me in and pull me aside and say, don't do that, do it this way and blah blah. So, you know, I give her a lot of credit for helping me choose the right acting choices, you know, and learning how to do this thing properly. But I remember in the meeting, they said, you're going to have another woman in the show. There's got to be a conflict, blah, blah. And I remember there was a board of women on the show, and they said, so which one do you want? I am not making this up. And I said, I think I'm going to go with this one right here.
Eeny, meeny, miny.
You know what it was like? It was like, you know, Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
I'll take
this is you?
I'll take you. I was like, but I thought he was joking, and he goes, I'm being dead serious. You got to choose which one. And I was like, hey, you know something? Why are we here? I think this one would be all right. Right? and then obviously now coming on to Hollyoaks, Kelly, right? Kelly is stunning, and Kelly, I've known Kelly once again from Eternal for, it's her birthday today actually, but I've known Kelly for 20 plus. Kelly came to my son's christening. My son is 20 now, right? You know, so we go back that far.
Kelly's from my manor. She's from my manor. East London.
Is she from your end? Yeah, of course she is. Yeah, of course she is. Yeah, of course she is. Right? So, you know, Kelly and I, it actually feels like we're a couple anyway. And then Tamara, who is also the love interest on the show, Tamara is like, you know, when I told my friend I was doing the show and I said, I think they're going to hook me up with Tamara, who plays Grace Black, my friend was like, Grace Black? She goes, that's the top woman on the show. Right? And I was like, yeah, well, you know, that's my thing right there. Right? So like, so, you know, so I guess it helps me because it kind of pushes me as this, I don't know what the right word is, but it's good. I can't complain.
Well, Richard, it's been absolutely fantastic. Such a pleasure having you on.
Can I just say, Rich, I wouldn't be the person I am. I've noticed your bed sheets. Yeah.
Yeah.
You cannot afford to piss the bed.
I wasn't expecting that to be what you was going to say. But
if you
There's many
spin,
things
if you
you
spin
could have
anything
said.
on that, and Dylan,
I
I
don't
respect
think you understand. Look, no, go to the wide again. Go to the wide again of the room. You notice that everything is immaculate in its place. I only come in here to sleep. I don't play around, you know.
No,
Clearly.
clearly.
Nothing.
No, I respect you.
I've got OCD, so everything is always in immaculate anyway, right? Do you know what I mean? But I don't mess up. These sheets hardly get moved. I sleep on this side of the bed, the other side. You see this side of the bed here? You see this side here? This side here don't even need tidying. I sleep this side. That's it.
I'll be
Don't play with me.
too scared to wrap myself up in that, just in case I have a nightmare and I rip it. I'll be crying.
Yeah, no, and like, you're big and strong. You can't. There's a spare room. You can stay in that room. You're not staying.
So listen, before we let you go, what is next for you, Richard? What's coming up?
Do you know what? Right now, it's Hollyoaks. I mean, like Hollyoaks. I've been here for a year now, so you know I'm based up in Liverpool now. I'm not even in South London no more. Right, so Paul, you got to hold it up for me down there. But I'm in North Stratton, man. SW16, right? But like I'm just, you know what? I'm literally just enjoying my time on the show. To be really honest, I'm very much let go and let God. Whatever God's got planned next, you know, it's just designed. There's nothing I can do about it, and I embrace it. But right now, I have to admit, I'm having a great time. And Hollyoaks, they treat me so good that it's a dream job. So I'm truly happy. And hey, you see the bed sheets, I'm doing all right.
That's right. Now, and do you know what? And I will say this, and now on the real, I'm so proud of you. You know what I mean? You've for all of the trials and tribulations, and you've come out the other end, you know what I mean? And you're just a prime example of success and determination. So I'm proud of you. I really appreciate.
Well, you know, I got love for you.
No.
Like me and Quincy went through the same situation at the same time, so we know. Right? Yeah. And also, I just want to say, Quincy, hey, you're trilling a lot, because I noticed you're looking very cutthroat there. You're looking.
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what? The lockdown. I've had to, like, you keep me on my toes. You know what I mean? Janelle has been going through your pictures. You've been keeping me on my toes. So I want to keep on, when Zara opens, I want to keep on hashtag Zara sponsor the show. I really want to be keeping them as Zara things. You understand what I'm saying? But Rich, on that note, man.
The arms look hench.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, this is twirl and get there. Sorry. I mean, lift up the set. Let me finish.
Oh,
Go to the show. Look, Rich, I really appreciate you taking your time out, and I wish you all the success.
Of course.
Do you know you want to say bye?
Likewise, sir.
of course. And hopefully we'll see you again, Richard, on the show. Maybe you can come into the studio next time.
Yeah, you can down.
Yeah, no, I'll come down definitely. I'll make sure I'm there. Just save me a little space. Do you know what I mean? And I'll be there. And Paul, not but love for you. I'll speak to you soon. You know that.
Yeah, you're in Liverpool. You're up in Liverpool.
Big round of applause.
I'm going to come and see you. Yeah, I'm coming up there.
Ready.
Yeah.
Great respect, King. Salute. Mr. Richard Blackwood, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a blast. Have we got some...
Got a couple of comments. Somebody's watching all the way from the USA. Mother Nature's Beauty soap, actually. So thank you for tuning in from the US.
I respect.
We also have quite a few comments about Richard's bed sheets. Some talking about looking at them, and some talking about looking like they want to be in them. But anyway, we'll leave that right there. Yeah, and just that it's been a fantastic show. So,
let me show you.
Yeah.
You are going to do a little discount for the chocolates for our viewers.
That's right.
So just let people know that how can they get a discount. Obviously, your chocolates go into some of the department stores, and unfortunately they're shut for a little while. You know what I mean? So if they can't get them in the stores, like Selfridges and so forth, how can they get hold of the chocolates?
Well, they come direct to the website, which is paulwaynegravery.com, and we're going to give a 20% discount, and you're going to make up the code.
All right. And you got the socials?
Yeah, also Paul PWG_chocolates on everything. That's Instagram, Facebook, a lot.
So what I'm going to do for you, I'm going to stick all your socials, all your information, right, when the show's finished, so people can see it. Yeah, and they get a discount. And like I said, Paul, I really appreciate you taking your time out.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
For coming down and showing me the chocolate and thing and giving Janelle. This is going to go around the crew.
Thank you for coming to the studio and giving this one a masterclass.
No
as
problem.
I say, you know, the crew will polish this off after the show.
So look, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, we've come to the end of the show, end of episode 7. So I'd like to give a round of applause for all of our guests for today's show. In the studio today, Mr. Paul Gregory, round of applause.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We kicked off the show with Mr. Eddie Nestor, the voice of London. Culture Corner with very, very funny comedian, now turned poet, Mr. Sarah Callahan. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to give a round of applause for Mr. Richard Blackwood as well. Round of applause. And my wonderful co-host, always keeps me on my toes, Rayburn, ladies and gentlemen, playing us out with one of my favourite tunes from back in the day, a tune I used to sing to all my school teachers to try and get a little pass right in maths. Mr. Ty Malone and the Extra Timers, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Mickey. Good night. God bless. Thank you very much.
Whoa, whoa. Stay here, baby. My darling, sweet baby. You know you drive me crazy. That someone so special. I can't believe that I found you. You're so fine, baby. Please stay with me. Oh, you're all I need. Oh, keep my fire burning. Ooh, can't get enough of you. Get enough of your loving, baby. Yeah, yeah. Stay, babe. I had no desire until this burning fire. It's always a pleasure when I am making love with you. You're so fine, baby, won't you?